And finally, new rule, Democrats need to stop thinking an October surprise is going to save us from a second Trump term. I mean, look at this. We've gotten so used to thinking that there's always an October surprise coming that when it doesn't happen, it actually seems weird. Like a party at Diddy's house where you just dance. The Access Hollywood tape in 2016 was a classic October surprise, and many people thought it was one that would work, as grabbing pussy is generally frowned upon, including by James Comey, who was so disgusted by it, he reopened an investigation into Hillary a few weeks later. In 1980, the October surprise was that Iran was going to release the hostages they'd been holding for over a year, giving President Carter a lift, but then they released them minutes after Reagan got inaugurated. Psych! In the year 2000, a week before the election, it came out that George W. Bush had once been arrested for drunk driving, something I always assumed he'd been doing. Before he found Jesus and made him take the wheel. But okay, these were much simpler times, and quaintly, this was seen as a big scandal back then. Whereas today, Trump could drunk drive with a blood alcohol content of 1 million, doing 200 on a side street and kill a crosswalk of kindergartners and 2 ducks, and it wouldn't move the needle at all. Trump... yeah, good thing? No. Trump's superpower as a candidate is that he has been so constantly and ubiquitously awful for so long that it's simply no longer seen, the way you wouldn't notice a new face tattoo on Post Malone. Louisiana Governor Edwin Edwards once boasted, "The only way I can lose this election is if I'm caught in bed with a dead girl or a live boy." Both of those could happen to Trump tomorrow, and it wouldn't matter. He's banged a porn star and attempted a coup. He steals from charities. If you're waiting for an October surprise to knock him out, dream on. There are better odds of another Joker musical. There's a new Bob Woodward book that says when Americans couldn't get a COVID test, Trump was sending them to our worst enemy, Putin. Shrug. Trump said last week that really doing the purge, like in the movie, might be a good crime-fighting technique. He's the only candidate where the voters hope he doesn't keep his campaign promises. And 5 trials in 1 year, even if you're a fan, that's a lot of trials. But you simply cannot surprise the voter who's seen it all. With what? He's the third Menendez brother? He did gay porn with black Nazis under the name Don Diggler? Would that do it? No. There's already video of him jerking off 2 guys at once. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Balloon drop. But honestly, what is the headline you're imagining that would knock Donald Trump out of the race? Trump in blackface for Halloween? Trump wipes ass with Shroud of Turin? Trump knocks up underage prostitute who gives birth to Rosemary's Baby? Trump is Rosemary's Baby? I mean... This is Kamala's great dilemma. Trump is invulnerable to an October surprise, but she is very vulnerable because she's the one who is still undefined. And as she showed in this week's Bret Baier interview, her go-to when attacked for her own actions is usually Trump is worse. Okay, we know that. But now undecided voters want to hear about you. They want someone to vote for. This election comes down to this. Trump has a coalition of voters made up of A, people who really do like him, and B, people who think with all of his flaws, he's still better than far-left insanity. And the voters' big doubt about Kamala is, are you part of far-left insanity? The attack ad I see 10 times a day, and a question Bret Baier aimed at her on Wednesday, was about her saying in 2019 that she supported providing taxpayer-funded sex change operations to illegal immigrants in prison. Something that's actually never happened and has no real bearing on anybody's life. But it's a litmus test for voters out there who want to know of the Democrat, is there anything your fringe can suggest that will ever make you say, no, that's fucking ridiculous? It's getting late early, and we can't afford any more bad answers like this one last week.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
No bueno. No. Next time, maybe try. Joe Biden generally did a good job, but sure, I wish we'd tightened the border sooner, as we have done now, and trust me, I learned my lesson, and that's never going to happen again. Kamala, it's so important that you win this election, not just for the sake of retaining a real democracy and for the good of the world, but also because I predicted a month ago you'd win this thing, and if you blow it, it's going to make me look bad. Yeah. Right? I've got a really good prediction record, so please don't fuck this up. Kamala, ever since I put down my marker on you and said you'd win and I wasn't even worried about it, everyone, everywhere, on the road, in LA, texting me, emailing me, stopping me in restaurants, asking me, Bill, are you sure? No, I'm not fucking sure. What am I, Kreskin? Of course I'm not sure, but that's my gut. I think Kamala Harris wants this. I think she can do this, to say nothing of, if she loses, she'll never hear the end of it from Joe, I told you I was the only one who could beat him, Biden.